नमस्कार मित्रों, स्वागत है आप सभी का। गुड इवनिंग माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स। आज के इस लाइव वीडियो सेशन में हम लोग क्लास 10th एनसीईआरटी हिस्ट्री चैप्टर 2 नेशनलिज्म इन इंडिया के वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस करेंगे। 3 मार्क्स और 5 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन जो बोर्ड के एग्जाम के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट होगा। 3 मार्क्स और 5 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है जो आज के इस वीडियो में हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे। सारे क्वेश्चंस का प्रैक्टिस करेंगे। स्टार्ट करते हैं माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स। स्टार्ट करने से पहले एक थॉट है हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए। वो थॉट ये है, अ चाइल्ड विदाउट एजुकेशन इज लाइक अ बर्ड विदाउट विंग्स। ओके माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, स्टे कनेक्टेड, कीप स्माइलिंग। पहला क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट करते हैं। साइमन कमीशन वॉज ग्रीटेड विथ अ स्लोगन गो बैक साइमन एट अराइवल इन इंडिया। सपोर्ट दिस reaction of Indians with arguments. Next question. What was the objective of Simon Commission? Why was it opposed in India? Next question. Explain in brief the Dandi March. Next question. How did the Salt March become an effective tool of resistance against colonialism? Explain. Next question, my dear students. The civil disobedience movement was different from the non-cooperation movement. Support the statement with example. Next question. Evaluate the role of business class in the civil disobedience movement. Next question. Why did the different social groups join the civil disobedience movement? Explain. Next question. How did women participate in the civil disobedience movement? Explain. Why did political leaders differ sharply over the question of separate electorates for Muslims and for the Dalits? Next question. Describe the main features of the Pune Pact. Next question. Examine the events that led to the civil disobedience movement. Why did the industrialists support this movement? Next question. Explain the efforts made by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar for the political empowerment of the Dalits or depressed classes. Next question. Critically examine the main aspects of Indian national movement during the period between 1920 and 1935. Next question. Explain the grievances of the peasants against the government. What steps were taken to organize peasant movement to fulfill their demands during the colonial rule? Next question. Why was the Salt March considered an effective symbol of resistance against colonialism? Explain. Next question. Which incident marked the beginning of civil disobedience movement? Why did the peasant join the civil disobedience movement? Next question. Describe the significance of the civil disobedience movement in the freedom struggle of India. My next question. Why did the poor peasants join the civil disobedience movement and why could not the Congress give full support to their demands? Next question. Explain any 5 factors which gave rise to the civil disobedience movement of 1930. Next question. Why did Mahatma Gandhi relaunch the civil disobedience movement with great apprehension? Explain. Next question. How did the civil disobedience movement come in force in various parts of the country? Explain.